Picture this. I am standing at the edge of my own life, peering into a mirror that is just a little too polished, a little too perfect. My name is Isabelle. I am 32. For the past 6 years, I have been building a life with Lucas, my husband. He is 35, a marketing executive who walks into any room as if he owns it. His charm is sharp and his tailored suits are perfect. That grin of his could sell ice to a snowman, and it has worked on me more times than I can count. Our marriage is like a well-worn sweater, comfortable and familiar. Yet sometimes I wonder if the threads are starting to fray. Lucas is always chasing the next big deal, the next win, and I am often left sifting through the quiet moments, craving a spark that does not come from a calendar reminder. We live in a cozy suburban home in Boulder, Colorado. The mountains loom in the distance like silent promises of adventure I have yet to reach. Lucas has his crew, his college friends who are as much a part of his life as I am. There is Brandon, 34, a gym enthusiast whose laughter shakes the walls, always spinning stories that are half truth and half bravado. Then there is Ian, 33, a software engineer quiet as a shadow. Yet when he speaks, his dry humor cuts deep, and those piercing green eyes seem to see right through you. Finally, there is Connor, 36, a contractor with hands rough as gravel and a rugged charm hard to ignore. He has been through a messy divorce, which might explain why his jokes sometimes cross the line, testing the limits of what people will let him get away with. I have always gotten along with them, but without Lucas as the glue, I have never really spent time with them alone. They are his people, his history, and I am just the plus one who smiles and nods. It is a typical Sunday afternoon, the air lazy and the hours stretching like they have nowhere to be. I am in the kitchen stirring a pot of chili when Lucas bursts in, full of energy. "Isabelle, you have to join us today," he says, his voice buzzing like he is already halfway through some game plan. "The guys are coming over to watch the game. Big screen, cold drinks, the whole thing. Come on, it will be fun." I hesitate, my hand pausing over the stove. I am not a sports fanatic. I would choose a good book or a hike over touchdowns any day. But the way his eyes light up makes me unable to say no. Keeping him happy feels like my default setting even when I quietly ache for something to shake up the routine. I agree, and soon our living room transforms into game day central. The big couch is covered with throw pillows, the scent of chili lingering as the guys pile in. Brandon, Ian, and Connor join Lucas and me. The Denver Broncos are on the screen, and the first half of the game kicks off with Brandon roaring at every mistake. "Come on, you call that a throw?" he bellows, hands in the air, shaking the empty snack bowls on the coffee table. I cannot help but grin at his intensity, clueless about the game. Ian leans back, smirking, tossing sarcastic comments like, "They must be paying that quarterback in Monopoly money." I chuckle, catching his sharp gaze briefly before looking away. Connor nudges me with a playful elbow. "Isabelle, you have no idea what is going on, do you?" His voice warm with amusement. I roll my eyes, pretending to be annoyed, but Lucas intervenes, his arm around my shoulder. "Lay off, man. I have her covered," he laughs, leaning close and explaining the play with the patience I have always loved about him. I nod, soaking in his words more for comfort than the lesson. The room is alive with camaraderie. Bottles clink in quick toasts, high fives echo after good plays, and a spilled handful of chips sends us laughing. I am barely watching the game, riding the wave of their energy, feeling like I belong. Then Lucas' phone vibrates relentlessly. He glances at it, brow furrowed. "Damn it, work," he mutters, rushing out to handle a client crisis. I feel a pang of abandonment but force a smile. The energy in the room shifts without him. Brandon breaks the silence with his booming laugh. "We are not done yet. How about we take this party out of the house? There is a spot just outside town, Rusty's Tavern. Cold drinks, good music. What do you say, Isabelle?" I hesitate, thinking of Lucas, but the thought of returning to an empty house feels heavier. "Sure, why not?" I say. We pile into Connor's truck, the leather seats worn and smelling faintly of sawdust, heading to Rusty's Tavern. The tavern is dimly lit, neon beer signs flickering over the gravel lot. Inside, the smell of beer and fried food hits me. The floors are sticky, the jukebox blaring classic rock that pulses like a heartbeat. We slide into a corner booth, drinks flowing. Shots of whiskey burn their way down, followed by cheap beer that tastes like water. I laugh louder than I intend, head swimming as the night continues. Conversation begins easy, Brandon ranting about the Broncos, Ian sarcastically commenting, Connor spinning a story about a construction mishap. But with each drink, the talk turns personal, dangerous. Connor leans in, his grin teasing and intense. "Isabelle, do you ever get tired of playing house with Mr. Workaholic? All that 9-to-5 grind, never any fun." I laugh, rolling my eyes, admitting softly that I do sometimes miss spontaneity. The guys exchange loaded glances. My stomach twists, a mix of guilt and electric thrill. We leave Rusty's Tavern, heading toward Connor's home. I sit in the passenger seat of Brandon's truck, fingers twisting in my lap, the cool Colorado air failing to ease the heat rising inside me. Ian is quiet in the back, but I sense his presence like a shadow. At Connor's, a small bachelor pad, the living room is cluttered, furniture mismatched, and the air thick with stale beer. Connor pours whiskey into mismatched glasses. Brandon fiddles with a speaker. Ian quietly observes. Low music pulses, heightening the tension. I sit sandwiched between Brandon and Ian. The space between us shrinks with every glance. Brandon leans in first, urgent and rough. Ian is tentative but surprisingly gentle. Connor watches, then joins the storm. The room is thick with heat and desire, my mind flashing to Lucas, the life we built, the trust one I'm shattering. I am lost in the whirlwind, my body betraying me. Yet beneath the chaos, guilt crashes like a tidal wave. These are Lucas' friends, the people he trusts, and I am betraying him. The night ends in silence. We scramble to dress, the weight of what occurred suffocating. Brandon mutters, "This stays between us." Ian nods, low voice agreeing. Connor grunts, tense. I feel hollow, drained of thrill, consumed by regret. I call a cab with shaking hands, escape the apartment, and watch Denver blur past the window. Every moment replays in my mind. How did I let it go this far? How did I betray Lucas with those he trusts most? Returning home, the suburban house feels like a punch. Lucas is still away, and I collapse onto our bed, overwhelmed by regret. His scent lingers on the pillow, a cruel reminder of what I have risked. Tears come hard and fast. I clutch the pillow, knowing I might have lost him forever without him even realizing it. The next day dawns gray. I force myself through the morning, pretending to be composed. When Lucas finally returns, exhausted, I stand in the kitchen. "How was the night with the guys?" he asks, voice rough with fatigue. My heart stops, reality pressing down. And here, dear viewers, I must ask you this. If you were in my place, would you confess everything to Lucas or keep the secret buried? If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like the video, turn on notifications, share it with a friend, and subscribe for more immersive stories like this one.